Hey, um, continuing the Gimme 10 French themed Gimme 10 with some French punk, post punk, new wave. Sorry, Mark, I said post punk, but that's what it is. And it's the music that was made after punk. That's all. Um, and yeah, I've got 10 records. I've got a comp as well, so I've got 11 records. I want to talk about the comp. This is a good little primer. Des jeunes gens modernes, post-punk, all wave, et culture nouveau en France 1978-1983 was an exhibition run in Paris in 2008. There you go. 3rd of April to the 17th of May 2008. And they curated a comp to go with the exhibition with some great band like Guerre Froide or Mathématiques Modernes, which I'll talk about in a sec, and Ice. That track, La Grande Guerre, is fantastic. So this little primer compilation, very cool comp. I think you can still get this from Born Bad Records these days. I think they're still in print, but this one came from 2008, literally. Um, and yeah, post punk, much like UK post punk, in the same, in exactly the same vein. You know, when you think about UK post punk, you think about bands like the Raincoats or punk. In fact, you go punk to new wave. You think about it covers a whole range of things: Chrissy Policy, the Raincoats, the Slits, the Clash, Pill, the Young Marble Giants. I mean, a lot of stuff, and the French version of it is somewhat similar. And it wouldn't be surprising to think that the very first band ever signed to Rough Trade Records in London was, in fact, a French band, and that just shows you how much of a similarity, in fact, there is between the French and the English scene in terms of sound. The very first single put out by Rough Trade was by this band called Metal Urbain. This is a collection called, well, it's an album and kind of a comp at the same time called Les Hommes Morts sont dangereux. And this is a great piece to own. Metal Urbain, as I said, very first band signed by Jeff Travis, Rough Trade. Very first single put out by the label. Who could you compare them to? Very synth-driven, kind of abrasive post-punk. Hysteria Connective was the song, I think that started Rough Trade. But like, just listen to Paris Maquis just to give you a good idea. This is abrasive, sort of Sex Pistols meets Kraftwerk, if you will, in a kind of great band. Then another, I was talking about Mathématiques Modernes just before. Fantastic as well. Amazing kind of, again, very synth-driven band. I think they're from Paris. And the thing is, there's a kind of vision of the apocalypse. So they were a duo, a bit like the Flying Lizards were a duo, but less ridiculous than the Flying Lizards. I love the Flying Lizards, just, don't get me wrong. But this is a great band. This is very much driven by synth and vocals. You can see Claude Artaud. It's two people: Edwige Braun-Bellemare, who sings, and Claude Artaud with synth, ordinateurs, computers, production, etc. Great record. You can find this. This has been reissued. It's most excellent. Okay, I'll try and move on. And staying on the same sort of theme of lots of keyboards and electronics, is this band. Deux hommes avec des boîtes, who were from the north of France. Very little known band, very rare record in fact, and there's only one print of this. I don't think it even exists on CD. Two dudes in a sort of scritchy, early scritchy polity kind of spirit. Very synthy, very cool. Deux hommes avec des boîtes. That's from 1981. And the Mathématiques Modernes was from 1981. I have to talk about this classic French record, the debut record by Jacquenot, simply titled Jacquenot, features the vocals of Elie Medeiros, and Jacquenot was in I think they were both together in a band called the Stinky Toys. Stinky Toys are quite well known in France. Well, you know, if you like music, that is. And he disbanded, or he left the band, and he started making his own sort of this is minimal music, like lots of synth, a bit of vocals. This is an expensive record to buy, or this is an OG. The guy I bought it from in Paris explained to me that this record was very dear to him because he's good friends with his daughter, with the daughter of Jacquenot. So there's a good little story to go with this. This is very Kraftwerk-in kind of minimal synth pop. I'll also make some comparison. This band is fantastic. This is a phenomenal record. This is the French Joy Division. You know, if I'm going to make some kind of a relation, Marquis de Sade with Dancing Twist, which is obviously a pun on dancing, which is in Poland. Paid €6 for this. It's still the price tag is still on it. This is very much like Joy Division, very much so, or a certain ratio as well. Even got a suit like a certain ratio almost. This, what label is this on? This is from 19. Oh, this is great! I love this label. I remember this. It's got the little pattern there. 1979. On Pâté Marconi, which is a big French label. Yeah, so great bands, very sort of, Joy Division. I think that'll be enough for people to understand. And this is the French Devo, Edith Nilon. Very similar in sound to Devo, you know, or a little bit of Peru-Boo, but very small touches. Like Devo, but female fronted, as you can see. This is a great record. It's really fun to listen to. Like the very first Devo, you know, Are We Not Men? We Are Devo, you know, the yellow one. Very similar in style to this. Edith Nilon. And this was a radio copy, I think, which I bought for next to nothing. Yeah, it's got it's got a stamp there inside, May 79, from the radio station, it came from RTL in Paris, which RTL is one of the biggest radio stations in France. It's massive, so it's cool to have a record that comes from there. Okay, I've got to mention Telephone as well, which in France is very well known, very well known. Telephone. This is, I think, their first record, Cœur de la Nuit. Telephone were like the French Clash, you know, if you're going to compare them to anyone. And its members, especially the singer Louis Bertignac and Jean-Louis Aubert, what am I talking about? Jean-Louis Aubert is the singer. Louis Bertignac is the guitar player. Well, the two of them are very well known in France. A bit like yeah, the Mick Jones and Joe Strummer of French music. Um, this is a great record. This is a fantastic record. It's got a die cut in the middle. It's kind of bizarre die cut. And very punky, very lots of energy, lots of you know. They released a swathe of really amazing records to Telephone. This is from 1980, and you can see it's a well-worn original. Okay, I'll continue. This is fun. Okay, now I'll move into more sort of mid-80s territory to maybe even late 80s. Three more records. I'll start with this one. This is a fantastic band, Les Rita Mitsuko. It's the name of the band, Les Rita Mitsuko, and the album is called No Comprendo. Rita Mitsuko were a two-piece, Frétinchin, and what's her name? I've got a blank. Catherine Ringer, that's right. Completely nuts. They were on radio all the time in the 80s, and they had this really infectious single called Marcia, which is amazing. It's an amazing song, produced by Connie Plank of crap rock fame, you know, Connie Plank. This was produced by Tony Visconti, I think, which is, yes, there you go. Produced by Tony Visconti, who produced Bowie and all this other cool, I think, T-Rex, I think, as well. This is really cool. It's from 1986, and it's just an amazing kind of new wavy, sort of very pop number. And amazing. If you find this, don't hesitate. It's very, very cool, very, very jangly and very poppy. Brings me to the last two, and they're very similar stylistically bands. One of them is the Négresse Verte. Négresse Verte was kind of like a sort of flamenco flavored bunch. They were just kind of crazy, kind of with a real gypsy attitude as well, like gypsy band kind of like. There's lots of them, and the music is really upbeat, and it's infectious as all get out. The singer Elno passed away tragically, and that was the end of the band. This is from 1989, and it's called Mlach. And this is a great little record. Very, very, very fun. And finally, this last one is on CD. This is a monster record as well. La Mano Negra is the band, and the album is called Putas Fever. I'm going to go over the 10 minutes, but I don't care, because if you like it, you'll watch it. Putas Fever. This is a classic late 80s French record. La Mano Negra was a band fronted by Manu Chao, which some of you might know. And again, it's sort of gypsy punk kind of. Imagine the Clash fronted by, you know, I don't know. Imagine if the Clash had lots of horns and it's hard to it's really hard to define the type of music it is, but it's a phenomenal record. I would love to have this on vinyl. I've tried to buy it a few times, but just sort of gave up. The CD is great. I mean, this is the original CD of the. So this is fantastic. So there you go. More than 10 minutes. Don't care. Leave me some comments if you can be bothered. Thanks.